Welcome back to the next part of the JSON data processor C++ project. So in the previous video, we had seen view students function. So in this particular video, we'll be seeing search data function. So what does this search data function basically do? Is basically I have to search a student by ID. So if I enter ID, for example, 31, 32, 33, and so on, whatever the ID is there, it should display all the details of that particular student if it is there. So the logic is we first ask the user for the input and then we validate the input. We check validating in the sense we check if the input is valid, if that particular student is existing with that particular whatever the ID is there. If he is existing or if he or she is existing, then we display all the details of that student. If it is not, if that particular ID is not there, then we say invalid input. Please enter a valid ID. Alright, so first we have, again similarly like the previous part, we first load data for each and every function and then we prompt the user to enter student ID to search. Then we take the input from the user, student ID, and then initially we consider that whatever the user has entered is digit. So we initially take boolean is digit as true. Now we iterate through each and every input, each and every part of the input, that is every element of the input, and we check if it is a digit. If it is a digit, if it is not a digit, then we change this is digit to false. If it is a digit, then we continue. Now, if it is not a digit, then we say invalid input. Please enter a valid numerical ID. Alright, so now we have to search for that particular student's whatever information. So now we iterate to each and every student information, and then we check if whatever the student ID is matching with the student ID of whatever that student is there, whatever student ID we gave. So student ID is basically the input. It is converted into a string, that is the input whatever we gave, and then we are searching that, we are trying to match it with the student original ID of that in that JSON file. Then once we print all the information. Now if it is not there, then we say no student with the ID, whatever this is found. Simple. Let me run the program now. So for a reference, first I'll see all the users and then I'll show you two outputs, one with the matching user ID, student ID, one more with the not existing student ID. Okay. Yeah, so now let me view all students first. So you can see student ID is, I'll enter 1 for 1, I'll enter 5, and one more thing, I'll enter 6. Let's see. So I want student ID 5. You can see we got the student found saying all the information of that particular student. Now again I have to enter 2. Student ID is 6. No student ID found with ID 6. Simple. Now let me submit the program. The test case if passed, and that's it for this video. See you in the next video. Thank you.